Okay, it's streaming. So you should be able to see yourself. You should be able to see it on my Facebook in a second. It will pop up.
Okay, hey everybody. How are we all doing? How's your day been? How's your weekend been? It's only Tuesday. So we're not even a third way through the week. Well, anyway, welcome to the Brandy Sisters. I am Taniesha. I'm one of the loopy ones of this group. I am a single mom of 3, 2 boys and 1 girl, 2 grandkids. I have my own beauty and wellness business online. And I'm also a pole instructor in training as well as a fitness instructor. And I love being around this family.
Thank you, Taniesha. Who wants to go next? Introduce yourself. Go for it.
Hey, I'm Karen. I'm the lazy one. I'm in bed. I'm the older one as well, you see, so that's why I have to go for an early night. I'm a full-time nurse manager. I have 2 grown-up children of 25 and 30, and I have a 5-month-old baby grandson. I'm a full-time nurse, but I also run my online beauty business. Hi.
I am Walker. I'm a mum of 6. I am from London originally, currently residing in Hertfordshire. I also run my own beauty and skincare business online, amongst other things. So yeah.
My name is Marva. I am a mother of 5 grown adults and a grandmother to 9. I too run my own online business.
Next.
Hi, Sergie.
Well done, Taniesha.
Hey. Sorry, I was kind of waiting for my mom to finish something in the background, so that's why I didn't come in straight away. But hi, I'm Sergie. I am a mother like most of us here. I've got 2 lovely kids, still quite young, only 13 and 11, so I'm not in the grandma stage yet like some of you lovely ladies, but yeah, I am happy to be here tonight.
Hello everyone, I'm Laura. I'm a mum of 2 girls, 2 and 4. One of 4 girls in my own with lots of sisters, so it runs in our family. I split my time at the moment through working in hospitality in my family business, and also online beauty like you girls, bringing me back to my roots, which is makeup artist.
Hi, Elena.
Hi, I'm Elena. I also have a son, 1. He is enough for me. I am part-time carer. I work in the office, and I have recently picked up their training for the carers. I also have an online beauty business like you lovely ladies. So yeah, that's me.
Is that everyone?
Jamella.
Last but not least, is that me or is it Sheila? Hello, and good evening, everybody. I'm Jamella. My name is Jamella Brandy, and I am mother of 4 and soon to be a proud grandmother of a grandson. So happy for that. I also run my online business online, and I'm also a spa therapist. That's it, folks.
Hey, it's me. Okay, so I am Sylvia Johnstone. Some of you know me, some of you don't. Everyone calls me SJ. So I'm a mum of 2, aged 15 and 11, 2 boys. I'm a single parent. I'm a dance teacher, and I also run my own online beauty business with these ladies. And I have 2 cats, 2 male cats. There you go. That's what I'm going to say about me. So welcome, everybody. We're here for our 2nd session. We did one this afternoon. Karen was on, Taniesha was on, Jamella was on this afternoon. So you may have seen us then. If you haven't, you can always go back and watch it on the replay. You can find it on our Facebook pages. So we were now on session 2 to talk about women's problems, all tied into Women's International Day. We're literally just having a chat. It's nothing formal. If you're watching us live and you want to ask questions, or you want to give some advice, give advice, whatever. We're just literally sitting around our table, which is on Zoom, and we're just having a chat. So we've got a couple of topics that people here want to talk about. So we're going to go with those and we'll just see where it takes us. Yeah. All right. And if I just say to everybody, when somebody's talking, if we just all mute when somebody's talking, just come off mute when you want to speak. Yeah. All right. So Kim is going to go first. Kim had something she wanted to talk about when it's something close to her heart. So I'm going to turn it over to Kim. Go for it, Kim.
Hi, guys. So yeah, this is a topic which is extremely close to my heart. Personally, because, you know, I've endured some of these things throughout my life growing up, and I feel that it can be a little bit of a raw subject. So if I touch a nerve this evening, then I can only apologise, but I feel that as women, we are given a voice. We are given a voice to use it, and we need to speak up and we need to speak out. So the topic that I'm going to be speaking about this evening is the elimination of domestic violence, physical, emotional, sexual, mental abuse. I feel that it's something that is a bit of a taboo subject, something that doesn't get spoken about quite a lot. So I have taken some notes. So if I kind of look down, it's because I don't want to go off track and I do want to stay on topic. So actually, I was doing a little bit of research earlier on, and this is also stuff that I have found out, obviously, throughout my life, being in women's refuges and stuff like that. So nearly 1 in 3 women have been abused in their lifetime. In times of crisis, these numbers have risen, and these have been seen during COVID-19, during the pandemic. Only 1 in 10 women came forward and said that they'd actually approached the police for help. You know, 1 in 10. So that's actually 9 people out of that 10 that wouldn't seek help. You know, so for me personally, that's quite sad. That is quite sad that, you know, people feel that they can't reach out for that help.
Does it say why, Kim? Why is there dominant reason as to why people don't?
I think it's more so the repercussions. I think that when you're in that situation, fear, and I think mainly fear comes into play, because if you're in a situation and say, for example, you're living within a household that's quite volatile, it's quite violent, you know, there may not be any way out at that present time. So because of that, I feel that a lot of people don't speak out, and, you know, it's so much keeping the people, you know, you grim and bear it, don't you? Because you've got nowhere else to go. And I suppose that if you don't know about the resources which are available to you, because I know myself when I was in when I was going through domestic violence, you know, and almost lost my life because of it, I didn't even know that women's refuges actually existed, you know, and it was actually a social worker that pointed me in that direction. Now, had I have not known, I probably, you know, would have stayed in that situation, could have possibly lost my life. Social services could have stepped in, they could have removed my children, you know, but, you know, unless somebody tells you about it, or unless you've actually done research into it, you just don't know, do you? So, you know, during the pandemic, obviously, you know, if we go on to the stream that was done earlier on, and where Taniesha was actually saying about, you know, the bubbles that had been created and how important it was to have those support bubbles, you know, which we didn't have when we first went into the pandemic. Hence why a lot of, you know, the numbers increased massively, you know. So if I just move on from that as to why we must eliminate violence and empower young women and children, we'll just kind of move on to that. So violence against women and girls is one of the most widespread, persistent and devastating human rights in our world today remains a largely it remains largely unreported due to the stigma and shame surrounding it. So that just goes on to talk about what the question that you just asked me. I think that it is shame that people, it's embarrassing. You know, you don't want to step forward and tell someone that you've had the living crap beaten out of you. Do you know what I mean? Some people don't even want to leave their house and go and see their family when they're in a situation like that. Do you know what I mean? Because it's shame. You know, I know myself that I felt incredibly embarrassed. You know, I've never wanted to go and knock on my family's door and say he's done it again, you know, because you know what families can be like. They can be, well, I told you so, I told you to leave.
Yeah,
you know what I mean,
really
you know?
Yeah,
Exactly. So in general terms, it manifests itself in physical and psychological forms. So it can come from an intimate partner, by battering, psychological abuse, marital rape, sexual violence and harassment, rape, forced sexual acts, unwanted sexual advances, child sexual abuse, forced marriage, street harassment, stalking, cyber harassment, human trafficking, slavery, sexual exploitation, child marriage. I mean, the list just goes on and on and on and on and on. You know, when you really sit there and you think about it, there is quite a lot.
There's a hell of a lot. Nicole is in the comments, and she said she's been through it, and she said it's fear-based. I wouldn't seek help because I was scared it would make the situation worse. That's what she's saying. Which is that's the other thing, isn't it? If it's not dealt with, they have to go back to it, don't they? They have to walk back into that house knowing they've just done it, and that can make the situation worse.
Absolutely. You know, and this is why.
Can I ask a question, please?
Yeah.
How long was you in this awful relationship?
11 years.
So why, just off my head, why did it take you so long to come out? Was it the fear?
Well, I got married when I was 18. Okay, so I got married quite young. I had my first child when I was 16. Ended up in not a so good relationship. He was a lot older than me, told me that he was a lot younger. My parents disapproved. Unfortunately, the marriage broke. I mean, not the marriage, that relationship broke down. I then obviously met my ex-husband, and I was 18 when I got married. And I think that kind of stemmed from, you know, my home life and stuff like that, and just kind of wanting to be loved, somebody wanting to want me. I wanted that family unit. Very, very quickly on into the marriage, obviously things kind of, you know, went on a downhill spiral, and that's when obviously I started seeing true colours. And I stood and I took my wedding vows very, 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 very seriously, you know. And for me, my wedding vows were important in sickness and in health and all of that, right? So for me, that's one of the reasons why I stayed, because I stood there and I made those vows, and I made those vows for a reason. So for me, when that started happening, and obviously alcohol was involved, drugs were involved, you know, for me, I just thought, he's sick. He needs help. I need to stand by him. You know, I need to support him during this very, very difficult time, you know. But then obviously it worsened, okay? And then, you know, this was an occurrence of like every day. Do you know what I mean? You know, one day I'd have a black eye, the next day I'd have a fat lip. Do you know what I mean? The next day my head would be put through a window. Then, you know, then another time, you know, I was pushed in front of a train, you know, and then I was in ICU fighting for my life. Do you know what I mean? You know, it goes on. It was horrendous. You know, I remember standing there and being beaten, buckle-ended with a belt, being told to put my hands up against the wall. You know, I'd come in and say, where's my dinner, bitch? You know, why is this not there? Why is that not there? And do you know what? I think for me, it was the fear, it was the embarrassment, and not knowing where to turn, you know. The last thing that I wanted to do was for people then to pass judgment on me. Do you know what I mean? You know, and I remember once when I was growing up, I can't remember who it was that said it to me, but it was, they never really truly love you until they hit you, you know. So I was like,
There's people out there, I've heard that before a few times. There's people out there that honestly believe that it's a thing. It's crazy.
And because obviously during that time it would be like, oh, you know, I love you, I'll never do it again, I'll never hurt you, but you just got me angry. Do you know what I mean? So I used to sit there all the time and self-blame all the time, because this is what narcissists do. Okay, they get that deep inside your head, they actually make you believe that you're the problem. Do you know what I mean? That the issue resides with you rather than them. And you know what? It took me a long time to break the cycle of actually thinking that that was the case, and it's not, because you know what? You are never responsible for anybody else's thoughts, feelings, or actions. And you know what? They have to take full accountability for it. Do you know what I mean? And when you're in a situation like that, it's not until you're out of that situation, and I've been on many, many courses, the wheel of domestic violence, you know, all of this stuff, that then, only then, opened my eyes, and I sat there and I thought to myself, gosh, I'm actually not the problem here. You know, I'm not saying I'm perfect, I'm not saying I'm whiter than white, you know, or anything like that. I may have instigated things at times, I may have been volatile at times. Do you know what I mean? Come on, guys, you know, we're not perfect, you know. But when a woman kind of gets stressed and a woman will shout, because that's how we express ourselves, because we have this pent of anger that builds up inside of us. We're mums, we're tired, we're cleaning, we're cooking, we're doing this, we're doing that. Do you know what I mean? And there's no time for us. And then it's like we've got this going at us all the time. So when we fight back, it's, well, what did you say? Bang. Do you know what I mean? You know, it's one of them ones. So this is where this topic really, really was quite powerful for me, because for centuries we have fought as women for women's rights. We have fought for the right to vote. We have fought for a right to be able to speak. We fought to have a voice. And now that we've got a voice, and I mean, this goes back to the 1900s, right? When women's votes came into play and stuff like that, you know, so we fought so long and hard for it. And now that we've got it, we're still at a stage of where we're so suppressed, and we can be so powerless, especially when we're in a situation. This may not even be with a partner. You know, some children experience this in their households from their own parents. Do you know what I mean? You know, that is the harsh reality of it, you know. And, you know, I just think women and children need to be aware of the resources that are available to them, you know. And I feel that, you know, there is stuff out there, but we need to be more open with it. Do you know what I mean? Because I went through domestic violence for years. Now, had I have known that a safe house, you know, was available, that these places actually existed, I think I would have packed my bags in the middle of the night and taken me and my son, and I would have gone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But because I didn't know, and I thought, well, it doesn't matter how far I run or where I go, he's going to find me, he's going to drag me back. And when he drags me back, you know, I'm going to get 10 bells of crap kicked out of me. So it's better just staying put. Do you know what I mean? You know, but had I have known that I was able to get up and I was able to get out and I was able to go somewhere and feel safe and my child feel safe, then without a doubt, I would have gone. Do you know what I mean?
And it's just what makes it important, like I always say, people about sharing their stories and communicating, because if someone that had been in that situation, been through it and knew about these places, had felt strong enough to communicate it, to say someone like you, that could have saved you 5 years of drama, say, do you understand what I mean? But because people aren't talking about it, whether that's out of fear, embarrassment, whatever it is, you're left sitting thinking you're the only one that's going through this and there's nothing you can do about it. You just have to sit through it. Like, do you understand? I mean, that's why it's so important for people to stand up and talk and not be embarrassed by
Do you think, Kim, the reason you didn't know about them places were because you had the fear of communicating it, so that's why you didn't know? Or do you think Like,
No,
do you
I
think
don't think it
the
was
government or the schools could do more to put stuff in place, and we could be more aware as
yeah, I feel like in schools, secondary schools, you know, I just feel like in general, you know, it should be signposted more clearer. You know, I mean, you see adverts on TV, right, about raising money, you know, to help other countries, you know, for water aid and Red Cross and all of this. So you see adverts like that. But why is there nothing when it comes to domestic violence, physical abuse, sexual abuse? You don't see that advertised on the TV, because I tell you why. I've got my own thoughts against this, and I've got to be careful what I say here. Do you know what I mean? But they don't advertise it because, yet again, it's power. It's manpower. Yeah, it's manpower. Like what they say, it is a man's world, right? So you hear,
I heard that the other day.
it's a
Someone
man's
said that
world.
to me.
So they say,
Yeah.
man built this, man done that, man done that. But do you know what? Women, that this is how I say it. Do you know what? It's not a man's world. It's a woman's world, because it was the woman that carried the man. Yeah, that's how I see it. Yeah, so the woman is the stronger species. Yeah, that's just how I see it. You know, man may have made this, man may have made that, but at the end of the day, we were brought up, you know, in a time where it was like, do you know what? No, the man goes out to work, the woman stays home, cooks, cleans, looks after the kids and does all of that. No. We're breaking the bias here, because we're standing up and we're saying, do you know what? We've got a right to go out there. We've got a right to work. We've got a right to have independence, you know, because I'm going to be honest with you. I don't want to ever have to rely upon a man, because I've been there, done it, got the T-shirt, got every single souvenir that there is in that bloody shop. Do you know what I mean? You know, it's always good to have a backup plan, and every woman should have that independence. Every woman should have that freedom. Every woman should have a right to be who they want to be and be their real authentic self. You know, I don't want to rely upon a man. What, the man's going to go to work and I'm going to stay at home doing what? Where does my identity come into play? Who am I? I don't just want to be a stay-at-home mum. I don't just want to be the person that gets up every single morning, cooks, cleans, looks after the kids and that. I love my kids, by all means I do. But I want to go out there, because do you know what? The world is such a big place and it has got so much on offer. And do you know what? Unless we break the cycle now and we stand up and we link arms and we break that bias, then do you know what? The circle continues, the pattern continues. And it's really, really sad. It's really, really sad that 137 women worldwide are killed every single day through domestic violence. But it's not just women, it's children. Children too. 1 in 3 women and girls experience physical, sexual violence in their lifetime, most frequently by a partner or by a parent, you know, and fewer than 40% of women who experience violence, you know, seek help of any sort because they don't know where to source it from. You know, so it is quite a sad situation, unfortunately. And I just, you know, my inbox is always open. I've been there. Do you know what I mean?
I think it's probably easier to report something like that when it's a stranger than when it's somebody that you know. Like if it's your partner, brother, cousin or something that's done something like that to you, it must be harder to report that to get someone to believe you, as opposed to it being a complete stranger that you can say, well, I was attacked on the street. If it's it happening in your household, it's not just the embarrassment of it happening, it's also the, are they going to believe me against, you know, they're going to believe me over my husband, are they going to believe me over my brother or my cousin or whoever it is that's close to you? You've got that, haven't you? Because there's going to be people that are going to be like, no way, he or she would never do that. Like,
exactly.
You know, whereas if it's a complete stranger, nobody kind of, they're like, you get that support instantly, right?
Yeah.
It's a difficult one. Katie was saying in the comments that her mum had it hard. She was in an abusive relationship with her so-called father. He would hit her mum for as long as she can remember when she was little. But she remembers it like it was yesterday. And one time he had his hands around her throat to the point she near stopped breathing. And again, like kids that live in households like that and witness that every day.
Yeah,
like it's shocking.
You know, and it sticks with you. It sticks with you for years and years and years on. I mean, I'm in a very loving relationship now, as you know. You know, I'm due to get married. I'm happy. I've got my children. I've got my family unit. But even still now to this day, you know, if I'm, say, for example, in the kitchen and I'm doing something and somebody walks suddenly behind me, I flinch. If I move too close to him, it's like, whoa, you know, and this defense mechanism goes up. You know, the other day my partner came upstairs, and because he came upstairs so quietly, and I've got a mirror on the back of my bedroom door, and I was doing something and he's came behind, my fist has automatically gone up. I'm not a violent person, but I go
into protection mode.
Yeah, I go into this mode of where I feel like I have to protect myself and protect my space, you know. And he was like, whoa, 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 whoa. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, I'm so sorry, but like, you know what I get, like, even if I'm touched the wrong way, because obviously, you know, when I was 12, I was on a camping trip, and unfortunately one of the adults sexually assaulted me, you know, and I lost my virginity, and you know, for me that robbed me of my childhood. So from then, even still to now, if I'm touched the wrong way, you know, I'm like, get off me, because I now suffer with PTSD, you know. I suffer with mental health, you know. I haven't always been so open with speaking about it, you know, but it's more so that I'm seeing more and more people talking about it, and I'm thinking, do you know what? You know, this is a subject that needs to be spoken about. These are things that we need to be that need to be spoken about. We need to be open with these things. And I think that when you surround yourself with good people, with good intentions, do you know what? I think it brings out the best in you. Now, I'm really, really blessed. I'm really, really thankful to work alongside you amazing women. I really, really am. Because for me, you know, I've always, you know, loved this company and what it stands for. You know, the fact that obviously, you know, we support women and children that are victims of sexual abuse, hence why this is one of the reasons why I joined, because that's really, really close to my heart. But the fact that we're so much more than mascara, do you know what I mean? We're actually a family unit, you know. It doesn't matter if anybody's having a down day, a good day, whatever, you know, we've always got someone there to kind of uplift you, you know, make you feel good, you know, your mindset can change in a matter of minutes. We've always got Mama Marva there who will literally come along and say, I'm gonna, you know, I'm coming with my stick, you know, I'm gonna help you out. Do you know what I mean? Mama Marva, do you know what I mean? Like, she's just ruthless. She's like, listen, like, stop. We're not having this today. Like, sort it out. Like, this is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to do it. Don't make me come there and bust your ass, you know. That's exactly what she's like. She's sitting there in the comments going like this, you know. So, you know, but it's the fact that we are so much more, you know, because I've got my family, but you're also my family. You know, if I go a day or two without speaking to you, I feel lost. Do you know what I mean? I feel like, hold on a minute, you know, how's that person doing? Or how's that person doing? Like Taniesha this morning, out of the blue, do you know what I mean? Straight in my inbox, do you know what I mean? Just wanted to reach out. Hope you've had a lovely weekend. And do you know what? That's what it's about. That's what it's about, because we are so much more. We have a genuine care for each other. We genuinely love each other, you know. And when somebody is ill, you know, or anything like that, we come together. Like, we are so united, you know. And you know, like, I know that you're very passionate about this as well, Sylv. You know, this is something very, very close to your heart, like skin tones and stuff like that, you know, the bias, you know, all of that sort of thing, you know. I have never in my entire time, now I've worked through a lot of industries, I've done a lot of different jobs, I've worked a lot in different places, but I have to give credit to you because you have created such a diverse team, you know. And do you know what? There is no discrimination here whatsoever. There is nothing but love, you know, and that's why I love doing this. And especially when you hold events like this where we can come together and we can be open, you know, and we can literally just fire up that passion that's inside us and just have that moment to literally just speak our truth and, you know, be our real authentic selves, you know. It's just amazing, you know.
It is. So, Megan saying, divided we fall, together we rise. That's what Megan said. Yes, Megan.
You know, as the power of women. That is the power of women.
You know, as they say, fall 8, get up 7, right? So, you know,
women support women. Women are known to be healers and supporters and carers and givers, and you know, and sometimes they find themselves in situations like you described, Kim, because they're caring, they're giving, they're supporting, and you've touched on the fact that you felt that you took your vows very seriously and things like that. So, you know, and I can see that. I, you know, with my work, my job, and the training that I've done as well, with people that are in these situations, and it's really hard. But you know, this is the power of women. You know, we have to learn to talk, we have to learn to share, and we have to learn to reach out, because we have got the power of the world. We have the strength of the world, but we just need to get together to do it.
It's just really hard to obviously try and like come out of a situation like that, especially when children are involved as well, because the last thing that you want for your children is to come from a broken home, you know, because people look at you differently. You know, they do look at you differently, you know, and people judge.
And this is what we touched on earlier.
We did, with single parenting.
And this is what we were sort of like saying about single parents and the discrimination with single parents often face, and how hard it is. And my point is what I sort of like said, you know, you see people, and Marva, you said that you study criminology. I can guarantee that a lot of the people that have created and committed these crimes didn't necessarily come from single parents. They came from well-balanced families in a lot of areas. And I also think that one of the things that we touched on with single parents sort of being discriminated, that their children are never going to achieve because you're a single parent. Well, I'm sorry, but actually I think a lot of these people who are extremely successful in their lives have come from deprived backgrounds.
Absolutely.
They drive and they push and they get the strength because they want something better. And I think, you know, and I think that that's why I think that we can look at single parents being, you know, discriminated against, but then again, you know, it works. There's so many different ways it works.
Laura, what did because you wanted to? Sorry, who was speaking? Was someone going to say something?
With me.
Go on, Marva. Go on. Sorry.
No, it's just to say, Kim, I'm glad that you found Dan, or Dan found you, and you are in now a happier place.
Yeah.
Because it sounds dreadful what you've been through, and giving God thanks, you are in a happier place, and your kids are more secured now.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say that our relationship is a bed of roses. You know, everybody has their issues, you know, but it's more the fact that like there's more of a compromise. You know, it's more about talking about issues. You know, things haven't always been plain sailing between me and Dan, but you know what? It's the fact that we've got the foundations to build on, you know, and we talk about things. Whereas, you know, if somebody's not a talker, you know, things don't really get done. You know, but I'm really, really happy. I'm really, really happy. And I mean, like, you know, we are the opposites attract, you know, but we work well together, you know, and I wouldn't be without him. He wouldn't be without me, you know, and yeah, we're happy. Well, you know, Dan, you know exactly what he's like, you know, so, you know, you know, Sil keeps saying, I need a Dan. So,
I need a Dan in my life.
Yeah, take him anytime, like he's for hire, you know, so you can have him anytime you like. He cooks, he cleans, You know, he cooks, he cleans, he knows how to work a wash machine, he knows how to use the iron. Like, trust me, I've got him fully trained. So, you know, follow me, right?
Sergie, did you have something to say?
I've been trying to get a word in there, Kim, all evening.
Sorry.
Okay, so what I wanted to ask is, so when you was going through all this, what was your support network like? Did you have friends or sisters, family, anybody? Was there anybody there that you could have called on? Or did everybody just turn a blind eye?
No, I think because, I mean, this is my mum would probably kill me now. But I think because my mum was also going through it at the time with my dad, it was very hard for me to kind of reach out to her, because she was kind of dealing with her own issues at that time. Do you know what I mean? Although, you know, my mum's quite a stern person. She'd be like, well, you need to get out. Do you know what I mean? My sister obviously wasn't living local to me, but she was supportive at the end of the phone. My brothers, they were too little to understand. Do you know what I mean? They were still young themselves, you know. So I think that, like, we also kept a lot back from them so that they didn't find out. With regards to friends and stuff like that, yeah, I kind of went to, you know, a few friends and, you know, spoke to them and stuff like that. But I suppose that I was kind of, well, you know what, it's a tough one. It is a tough one, because I mean, one person would say one thing, like, just go back, sort it out, you'll be all right. Do you know what I mean? Whereas the other person would go, he's this, he's that, you've got to go, da, da, da. And I think that my mind was kind of overrun with different emotions at the time. Do you know what I mean? And I think for me personally, it was the fear of being on my own. It was the fear of being a single mum. I didn't want that, and I didn't want my son to grow up resenting me, thinking that it's your fault my daddy's not around.
So Kim, what would be your advice to anyone who's going through what you've been through?
Well, I mean, if it's really, really bad, and you know in your heart of hearts that you're at that point of where, I mean, first and foremost, it's not okay. It's never okay for a man to put his hand on a woman, as it is for a woman to put her hands on a man, right? So I don't condone violence, full stop, you know. But in a situation of where you have to protect yourself, then okay, you know, we all have to protect ourselves in one way or another. I personally think that, do you know what, I would just get up and be gone. If you feel like you can't go to family and friends because obviously you feel like they're not going to be understanding or supportive, you know, that there are phone lines out there. Pick the phone up, use the phone lines, because do you know what, I did it. And when the social worker gave me that number and I phoned that phone line, so I didn't know what to say. And all I was told was, it's okay. It's okay. You know, we're not here to judge. We're not here to tell you what's right or wrong. We're here to help. And I was asked where I was, and I told them where I was. And they asked me, did I have any form of transport? I said no. They came and they picked me and my son up, and they took me somewhere safe. They gave us food. They gave me a warm drink. They gave me clothes, you know, so they are there to help you. What I would say is, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. I know it's hard, and you know, I can sit there and tell you the many a times I went back loads of times. I went back, and each time that I went back, I thought, do you know what, I could make it okay. And do you know what, it wasn't okay. It just got worse, and it got worse, and it got worse, and it got worse, you know. But I guess that I was holding on to false hope. But if you are in a situation like that, just know that there is help out there for you, you know. Inbox me. Most importantly, if you're on my friends list and you're going through it and you don't have anybody to talk to, inbox me, you know, let me help you, let me, you know, because when I went into that women's refuge, yeah, okay, you know, it's you have to kind of leave your whole life behind and you have to start afresh. But you know what, it's one of the best things that I ever did, because that's when I found me. That's when I truly found me. That's when I realized my worth, and that I was worth so much more. And you know what? All of the things that people have said to me in the past, especially my ex, you know, nobody's ever going to want you. Who's going to want you with a child? Look at you. You're disgusting. You're repulsive. You're this, you're that. Do you know what I mean? Take a look at yourself. Do you know what I mean? You know, it's only when I got into that refuge and I started doing the programs and stuff like that, that I truly understood that I was worth so much more. Because in that moment, say for example, I was going through that again, Marva, and you said to me, Kim, you know what, you're worth so much more, girl, you know, and you sat and you prayed with me and all of these things. Do you know what? I don't think that the power of that would even be enough at that moment in time. Do you know what I mean? It's got to be that thing that switches within you. Do you know what I mean? Until you're truly ready, to make that change won't come. Do you know what I mean? But I would literally use resources. There are social services that I'm not a great lover of social services, you know, but there's the police, you know, as I say, there are people out there to help you, you know. But what I will say is that if you're in a situation like that and it's really, really bad, you know, think about you, think about your safety, think about your children, think about what is right. And you know what? Yeah, it is a really, really hard decision to make, because you know deep down inside that you love that person. Do you know what I mean? You just don't love what they do. But you know what? Allow them to go and get help, because they need help, because what they're doing is not okay. It's not acceptable. You know, they need to obviously go and address their issues. Do you know what I mean? And you need time to heal. You know, because there's too many bloody women and children dying because of this. Do you know what I mean? You know, and you've got to find that strength, because if you don't, you might be that 1 in 10 that doesn't make it. And I'm sorry that sounds ruthless, you know, or like I don't care. I do. But you know what? I've seen too many people pass around me, and some of it has been through things like this. So you know what? Get out, and get out while you can. You know, when they're out of the house or whatever, make that phone call. Tell them. They will send people to help you. Trust me, they will send people. If the police have to come or whatever and they have to get you out, they will make sure that they get you out the safest way possible. You know?
On that note of like making a call and stuff, does anyone know, like, I went to a bar one time and there's a message in the toilet saying, if you're being harassed, go to the bar and ask for, there's like a name that you need to ask for and you get help.
Sheila or something. Is it Sheila?
There's a few things though, isn't there? Signs that you can do. You can research it. You can show people.
Online signs, aren't there, and things like that.
Yeah, there's a few. There are a few.
Yeah, that's quite clever.
To know some of them. Like one was a circle or something on the hand that you could hold up your hand, and if you know, like you're brushing your hair, and if you spot that, that means that they're screaming for help. There's a few out there like that.
Yeah,
there are.
I just thought it was quite clever.
Yeah, it is. I think it is a good way of doing it. But there are a few times.
Oh, Brandy.
Also, another one as well. Basically, you can do a distress call on your phone. I don't know if anybody knows about this, but you can click the side of your phone 5 times.
Oh yeah, on your iPhone, and it will. Yeah.
3 or 5 times, isn't it?
Yeah, click it 5 times, and that will obviously go whoop whoop.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, and like obviously, like that will just link straight away. You know, hopefully it won't be too late by the time the police get there, but they will locate you straight away. Do you know what I mean? They will come and they will help you. You know.
Yeah. Laura, what was it you wanted to? Does any of that tie into what you wanted to talk about? Black spot. That was it, Tina. Black spot in the palm of the hand.
I didn't know about that.
Yeah, black spot. Tina just reminded me. A black spot in the palm of the hand. If you see that, she's asking. She needs help, basically.
They're not directly related to what I wanted to talk about, but I did pick up on something that you mentioned, Kim, like when you were talking, you were doing the list of all of the things that, you know, sort of add into these numbers. And I was just sat here thinking to myself, and I'm sure you all have experienced it at some point in your lives and have been, bearing in mind I've got 2 girls, and I've got 3 sisters, and other nieces. It's that thing around, you know, you talked about stalking and you talked about street, I don't know quite what the words were, but, you know, things in the street. And it made me think about all of my life where I wouldn't say I've been abused, but, you know, I've experienced people lifting up my skirts in nightclubs, putting their hands on me. I've experienced men doing inappropriate things, saying inappropriate things to me, and all of this stuff that you just live with and put up with. Like as a schoolgirl, as a teenager, going walking back from school and being shouted comments out by men driving past out the window, builders on building sites. Like when I think about it now, I'm just like, my God, that could be my girls, like at 12, at 13, at 14, at 15. That ties in slightly with the thing I'm going to sort of talk about in terms of pressure on women and females. But that's just shocking, isn't it? When you're just talking about that in terms of numbers, you're listing, and I'm thinking, okay, I can think of all of these occasions of where I've gone. I can think of all of the occasions where my sisters have been flashed at, you know, and things like, and been followed and been shouted at and been groped in the street. I mean, I've been in Spain and I was followed on mopeds and groped in the street. You know, it's crazy, isn't it, to think that
and you just ignore it, you just,
and we think that's all right, and it's like, it's not all right. You know, and it ties into where I'm going to go with mine, is that I feel like there's a massive piece of education that needs to start really young. And I think it follows for boys as well, but I think obviously it's massive for females, in kids, young girls, you know, and all the way through really, because I feel like the pressure is still there as an adult female, and it's all the way from whatever age. But I feel like there's a massive piece that's missing, is that, as you said, Kim, now as females, you know, we have a voice, we have a lot of rights that have been fought for us in the past. You know, we're still fighting for it. There's still a lot of places and a lot of sectors where everything is still not equal, and people are still constantly, you know, forging their way through. And I think that, you know, there's this piece around that actually it's got to start when they're small. You've got to start giving them the power at age appropriate to empower them to know things within themselves. And that goes across from what you're saying in terms of abuse, but from where I'm going to go is the fact that, so I was a makeup artist for years. You know, I haven't been actively working in makeup as such for several years, probably for at least 10 years. I've done a little bit where I've hopped in and out. People that will know me from way back will know that I had a very active makeup life for a long time. And then I kind of went and did other things, and I traveled, and I've always sort of worked, you know, in the corporate side as well. So I've sort of flipped around and did a bit of both. And where I've come out of it, and I've had my kids and I've done other things, like I say, I work in my family business. It's a whole different sort of side of things. There's this real part of me that's trying to come back into terms of, I've started with the Younique stuff, you know, we're all talked about, you know, the sort of power of being together and all of the things that have pulled me in aside from the makeup, which obviously is massive, and it's hard to explain to people that aren't in it. But I feel that there's this massive piece around why I want to come back to being on the tools, which is around giving women, particularly young girls, as I said, but equally it's at the other spectrum as well, because I've got so many women, and I've always had this ever since I've been doing makeup. I've had women come to me and say, Laura, I don't really know what to do with my face. I don't really wear much makeup, or I've got all this makeup and I don't know what to do with it. You know, and can you help me? I'll pay you. And I just, and I'm like, no, it's fine. And I'll always sort of say, no, I'll help you. And I sort of don't put anything to it. And then I get to this point now where I'm sort of trying to bring myself back to doing something that I feel passionate about. And I love makeup, you know, I love art, I love music, I love dance, I love creativity. That's everything that runs through me. So there's a lot of things that I want to bring back, but equally coming back onto the tools to start making people up for me is really difficult for some reason, because I feel like the world has moved on to what everybody sees on social media. If you're good on Instagram, if you can do amazing pictures and you can talk the talk, you know, everybody thinks you're fantastic and you're a makeup artist and that's the way you should go. And I feel like it's this one big trend, and it's probably been 10 years or so of this sort of trend, where everything is just not about what is natural. And that's not a problem for people, that's up to you, it's your choice. But I feel like the piece is missing around where we don't feel empowered in ourselves to appreciate our own beauty. There is no power in beauty anymore. People don't understand their own beauty. They're not taught, you're not educated to look at your face. Like me, from my training, from 16 years old, my training was always, you take the face, you look at it, it's like a canvas, and you take that face and you create, you know, something to improve it, enhance it, in a level of, you know, usually you have a brief, obviously, if you were doing something for film, TV or whatever, but, you know, in terms of women every day, you know, I did years and years of weddings, and I would always get the same thing, people saying, oh, I don't want to wear too much, and I don't want to look like this, and I want to look like me. And then you get to it on the day and they want absolutely everything. And it was always the information is conflicting. And I feel like that comes back to, you know, how we feel about ourselves in terms of what we should have, what we should look like, what we should go out. We can't go out and just be natural or made up at the same time, because there's always an expectation to look like something else, which it really bugs me. This whole thing of like slug eyebrows and, you know, massive lips and contouring your hell out of your face because you want it to be like that person that looks amazing on the TV or whatever. And I really like, with my girls, I mean, my eldest is almost 5, and, you know, she has makeup at home, right? I had this conversation today with my sister. You know, she loves it because she sees me doing it. She's creative as well in her own way, so she wants to play with it. So fine, I'll let her play with it at home. She doesn't wear it out. She's not going to be wearing it out. You know, we do things nicely, and that's that. And I'm teaching her, and what I'm teaching her is that you don't need this makeup. If you want to do it and you want to make this look even more pretty for today, then we do it like this. And I feel like there's a piece around saying, okay, it's absolutely fine to be completely natural. I mean, I go every single day out without any makeup on. I don't have any issue with that. Yeah. But equally, I know that if I want to put some mascara on my lashes, it makes my eyes look nicer. I prefer the look of that. They look prettier to me. You know, it's just really difficult to sit and feel like constantly you feel, I don't know, it's, if I can get my words right around this, but you know, this expectation. And I'm meeting more and more young girls. My niece is almost 10. There's already all of this stuff that she's seeing, and it's, you know, how they think they should look, you know, this expectation. I just feel that we as women out there, especially in this industry, we need to be setting this, that it's like
setting that example.
Every face is different, right? And you look at a face and you work with that person, you understand, what do you like the most about your face? What makes you feel happy? What makes you feel empowered? What, you know, what can I do with you to help you with your own beauty? To enhance it when you feel like you want to, or equally if you're sensitive about something, let's help you work on the skincare, you know, and give people that piece when they're young to say, okay, your skin is really important and you love your skin that you're in, right? And it goes back to you talking about color and all of these things about, you know, whether people have suffered with poor skin, you know, the color of your skin, that, you know, any of that stuff. And it's, I feel like as well with particularly with skincare and young kids, if you wait too long to help them, then you're missing the point about where they're going to start getting that insecurity about how they look like. Because, you know, as a young teenage girl, if you've got difficult skin, you want to then cover it up like everybody else is doing. You want to slap a load of stuff on it. And do you know what I'm saying? Probably
absolutely.
Round, not making much sense.
Carly said it's like the Instagram filters, they make you look completely different. And Sandra said, I wanted to do this, but I'm not, so I don't, she doesn't do contouring, she stays as she is. Instagram is showing people that the way they look isn't right. So Carly's saying Instagram, she feels Instagram is showing people that the way that they like naturally look is not good enough or beautiful.
Not enough, it's not beautiful.
And that's where a lot of the kids are, right?
Yeah.
It's
And
still
there's pressure on lads as well, you know, in a different way. But
yeah, absolutely.
The
I
boys
see
are doing
it in
it
Reese.
too.
Yeah, I see it in Reese. I see how he dresses, what he wants to look like, what he wants his hair to be. It's because of the people that he's following on his Instagram.
I think it's like, and for us having the voice and having the power in terms of sharing, you know, when you're looking at people, don't be thinking about the fact that everyone wants to do this to their face. I mean, it's not about that. Like I was saying to you, Sylvia, we've had this conversation.
Yeah.
You know, when we used to do people to age them or to make someone look really sick, you know, like a drug addict or something, all you're going to do is you're going to shade the hell out of them because it makes them look gaunt, right? That's what you're doing. It's about bones and light, you know, and that works for everything that you do. But to try and tell people that this is how we all should look now, that we should all be like this and we should all have our lip line above our lip line, which looks ridiculous, it's so unnatural. And, you know, just...
I don't get it either.
Don't treat, like, just try and always think about somebody, treat them as the person they are and work on, it's inside, you know, you've got to work on what they feel comfortable with. Like your face is a piece of art. You know, we are artists in that sense. We have to look at it and say, right, okay, well, this eye is going to look brilliant with that, you know, like I would, when I would work, if I was on a set, you know, obviously you're going to have characters and stuff, but say I did something for fashion, I'd have person after person after person in my chair, you'd never make somebody up the same, unless you're doing something for London Fashion Week or something, they all had to be the same brief. You know, every single person is different, like look at this screen, you know, so it just, one thing doesn't fit, and I think you can forget that and you can be pulled into what the trends are, you know, everyone wants to look like X, or this is what's really hot right now, so we're all going to go mad for whatever it is at the time. And actually that's quite, I think that's much deeper than just saying, okay, well, we're going for this at the moment and then we're going to go for that. It goes a long way further back, because one of you might be sitting here being really sensitive about one particular thing on your face, but because of the way everything is, you think, okay, well, I'll just get that and I'll do that. Whereas actually you could have something else if you've got a little bit of education, or you take the time to work with somebody that's actually got some expertise, you know, or you research or whatever you want to do, that something else might be so different for you, and it could just work for you like that instantly. It's just one little tiny change in your way that makes the way that you think about it, whatever it is. And I'm not saying that, you know, like I don't agree either that people say, well, you shouldn't wear makeup to feel good and all that. I don't agree with that. I think it's down to the personal, you know, preference. Like I know when I put makeup on, I feel nice. You know, that's part of me. It's creative. I used to make myself up every weekend when I was younger in different eye makeup, 3, 4, 5 different things. And people go, wow, it's amazing. You know, what did you do? Oh God, I'd be like, I put this, and this, you know, but it was fun, because to me it's like art, you know. So it's just that thing around, we need to start trying to share with people that actually you don't have to have the big slab eyebrows, and you don't have to have the massive lips, you don't have to contour, you don't have to highlight every day. You have to just try and understand people better and look at their face and get them to understand what their own beauty is. You know, there's power in your own beauty.
I hear you. That makes sense. Carly's saying she feels children nowadays are shown to not feel good, not to feel good in their own skin. Megan says they all look the same, like clones with a Snapchat filter.
Exactly.
It's so sad.
And things like Love Island. I mean, it's just, you know, it's entertaining. But that's what I'm saying. You know,
I can't stand it. And thinking about children, this is one thing I really cannot stand. And listen, if you're this person or that kind of parent, that's your business. It's not my business. I personally don't think it's appropriate. Remember that Instagram link I sent you, Serge, of that little girl? Like, how old was she? What, 3 or 4? Like
about 3, 4 years old.
Tiny. Is it a pageant, like a pageant makeup?
Baby, it wasn't in a pageant. Like,
it was fully made up, eyelashes,
lips, extensions, she looked like a mini adult with a handbag.
Yeah, awful.
You know, like when you see the women and they've got the really nice outfit on, and they've got the posh handbag.
Massive business in America. Massive business.
A lot of it is American
but she's dancing
She's probably in a pageant.
She's dancing inappropriately.
Yeah, it's all
and I'm like, and when I'm looking at all 100,000 comments, likes, this, and you're looking at the comments and people going, oh my gosh, she's so cute, oh my gosh, she's so bougie, oh my god, and I'm like, this is
those
why we have to have services like Sapira, because this is why these kids are getting kidnapped and abducted, and because they don't look like a 3-year-old.
Yeah, and
they're mini adults.
Yeah, and the TV's got a lot to answer for. I mean, you watch any program and there's not one presenter, there's not one judge on anything female who doesn't have like lashes on, or all their makeup's touched every minute. I mean, I worked on sets. Obviously you touch up and you do stuff, but it's just gone to such a new level. I mean, newsreaders, it was never like that, that was
no, they weren't. Yeah,
we were actually trained, that this, I don't agree with, is particularly right either, but this is how far removed it's gone, is that we were trained then, is that, like, for example, you do more like a straight makeup for somebody who was in a serious job, for example, a newsreader. They would have a very power heavy straight makeup. And now it's all gloss and it's all eye makeup and it's this and that and the other, and it's gone like so far the opposite way that there is nothing now drawn back to actually, I don't know, what makes me different to you in theory when you look at this stuff? Nothing. Because if I was going to do the same as what you do and I do, and that, it's just like madness, like exactly what you said, Kim, where's my identity? It's like, it's all part of the same thing, isn't it, that we're talking about?
It is, yeah, and it's crazy.
And it stems from so young, and I think that it's just such a massive piece of work here. And I think this is why I'm struggling to bring back my stuff, because I don't want to go out to work and do that sort of stuff, because that's just not in me. Like, I would never.
And I feel that's going to get harder, because if you're breeding babies at the age of 3 to wear false eyelashes and hair extensions and lipstick and all that, by the time what are they going to be like by the time they get to their not even teenage years, coming out of primary school?
But then they're
going to be little grown women. It's like they're going to be little grown women, and these men are just going to be preying on them.
That's right. And
we weren't allowed to wear makeup like that.
No, we weren't. And what makes me laugh,
they wear everything, don't they?
I didn't comment on that post. No, I didn't comment on it.
It's inappropriate.
Because to me, it was inappropriate. Yeah. So why are you commenting on it? Because I bet you over half those people in that comment, if someone actually asked them the question and said, da 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 da, they probably, oh no, I wouldn't do my job. Then why are you commenting on it? Because the more you comment and like on those posts, the more the
people see
adult that's responsible for that child is going to keep dressing them up that way and sticking them on social media like that. If it ain't working and they ain't getting the likes, they ain't getting the follows, they'll stop doing it. But the more you feed into that, the more they're putting those out there. And that's why we're getting more and more of these people that feel they can just snatch children off the street in the middle of the day.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's an excuse for them, because it's not an excuse. They shouldn't be doing that, full stop. But we also know that's an illness, right? But you're not helping the situation when you're exposing your child or a child that you're responsible for to that, because that 3-year-old doesn't. You can't tell me it's the 3-year-old that wants to put the false eyelashes on. They don't know nothing about no false eyelashes until you teach them.
Exactly.
Right? You can't tell me it's the child.
Tina in the comments is just saying what's happened to children being children. And exactly that. Why are children at 11 going to senior school, girls wearing full faces of makeup?
That's right.
What need? Like,
it's what media creates, isn't it?
Yeah.
They start following these trends. They start following these TikTokers. They start following these YouTubers.
That's all they see. There is nothing different.
Yeah, they become sheep, so they start following the crowd. Do you know what I mean?
The parents allow them to do it, because the parents give them a laptop. The parents give them a mobile phone that is literally up to date, newer than mine.
Yeah.
You know, and
they're not educating at home. They're not giving that piece around. Actually, you don't need to look like that. You're beautiful.
Yeah,
that's it.
There isn't that.
When I was
right
teaching dance, when I used to do after school clubs for primary school, and I remember one particular school, the kids there started to friend request me on Instagram, and my Instagram's public, so they don't need to get authorization. They can just follow me. I would never follow them back because it's inappropriate. I'm their dance teacher. Yeah. We don't have a relationship like that. I'm not about to go down that road, right? They shouldn't be on it. They're in primary school, so they shouldn't even have Instagram. But you know what it's like. They all, these kids, they get it. It's not, sometimes it's not even the parents' fault. These kids know how to do these things, right? So I'd never follow them back, but I would always go and have a look at their Insta. And it was really interesting because you can see what the kids see from what we do.
Yeah.
You can see it. They're on the bed and they're posing. They might have a little lip gloss on, nothing major, nothing like oh my gosh, you shouldn't be wearing. It might be just an innocent lip gloss, but the way they're holding themselves, and why, because that's what I've seen mum do when she's doing her selfies, or that's what I've seen my auntie do or my cousin do when they're doing their selfies. And you're doing it innocently. As an adult, I'm not knocking adults, because that you're doing it innocently, you're having a giggle, you're out with your girls, or you're doing your own selfie and taking a picture, but you're totally unaware that your daughter's in the background watching you.
This is so true,
right? So
my 2-year-old does it already. She goes, because her sister goes like that in the picture, or occasionally we've done that.
So you have to start educating them, don't you?
Yeah.
That is appropriate for you to. Yeah, it's not. This isn't real. It's not real life.
Not real life,
or whatever it is.
Yeah.
I had to educate Reese on that. What's that program called? What's that one you said? I can't stand it.
Love Island.
Love Island.
Yeah.
Listen, there was a time he was into it, and I was like, let me watch this and see what this is about. And I watched one episode and was horrified. So never watched it again. Like, that is literally, if you want to destroy your soul and your mind, go on Love Island.
Go on something like that.
No one in their right mind's going on Love Island.
They're not going on there.
No, because that is soul destroying.
There's so many people that are like that, though.
I know.
That's the problem. In the mainstream media.
Soul destroying.
On social media, one girl, all the successful bloggers, they all look the same.
She didn't get picked. She was the only one. Like, none of the guys. She was the last one there. None of the boys wanted her, and you could literally see the life drain out of her skin, like from the embarrassment of none of the guys wanted her. The girls had all been picked. Like, you're on national, like everyone on TV, these people you don't even know can see. You literally saw the colour drain out of, and I just thought, why would you put yourself through that? That's soul destroyed. And I had to sit with Reese and say, what do you think? I had to ask him, what do you think about this? And he says, just a laugh, innit? And I said, well, it's not really, because that girl could go home tomorrow and kill herself. That's how deep it is. Like, it's not, some people get through it, but others, that destroys them for the rest of their life. And you do know this isn't real. This is not how this isn't how relationships are formed. Because all you're literally doing is they're jumping from one bed to the other. They're just going, I'll test this one today. No, you know what? Tomorrow I want to test this one. That's not real relationship material. Like, I had to have that conversation to make sure he understood that it's not reality. Because otherwise you've got the kids coming out watching those things and thinking if that's all the watching, that's reality. That's how adults work. So when they get to adulthood, what do you think they're doing? They're doing the same thing.
And then the expectation comes back on the women in terms of how the men view the women.
Absolutely.
And you go round and round again,
go round in that circle.
Like, the thing is the younger generation today know more than what we bloody knew when we were growing up, or even know now.
Way more.
I'm sitting there like half the time. I mean, I've got teenagers and they come home and they say, but mum, and I'm like, but wait, like, excuse me, hello, like, don't let me be seeing that again, and like what you were saying about the poses and stuff like that. I'm a sod for it. I will do it. I don't like my photo being taken, but every now and again I get this little bit of, I get this like confidence boost, and I'm like, do you know what I mean? I'll snap a picture and I do my face or whatever. But you know what? It's like, now Dan's really, really strict. Like Kelsey, she'll wear a belly top and shorts and whatever. And I don't mind her wearing it in the house. She's at home. Do you know what I mean? But don't be walking out my door like that.
And my mum would have stripped my. Listen,
I remember
there's no way. My mum would have. if it wasn't my mum, I wouldn't even got one breath out my mouth. My dad would have beat me. There's no way in hell that I could have ever stepped. Don't even think it. They know you're thinking it.
Mum, right?
They know you're thinking it. I'm sorry, no.
Like, when I was growing up, I liked red, and I remember. Like, I got my first bit of pocket money and I thought, yeah, this is great. I'm going to go into the shop, and I saw this red lipstick and me and my friends are in there and whatnot. And like a couple of my friends are like, you know, putting a few in their pocket, and I didn't have the guts to do it. I thought, no, I'm not getting nicked.
Yeah.
And I bought this lipstick. I think it was like about a couple of quid. And my first ever lipstick was Heather Shimmer and birthday. But do you remember those colours? And the next time it was like I bought this red lipstick and I felt great. I put this red lipstick on and I thought I was the bee's knees. Do you know what I mean? I remember my father walking in and he went, "You can get that off your lips right now. Get up and wash it off. Don't ever make me see that on your mouth again." And I was like, "But why? I love it." And he went, "Just get it off. Don't ask me no questions. Get it off." And you know what? Because I was so young and my dad was like, no, you can't wear it. I think that's why I love it so much now that I'm out. Because when I wear red, I feel so empowered. Like
you're one of those people that can wear it.
Yeah, my lipstick, red's my colour lip. I love it. Yeah. It makes me feel exactly the same. It makes me feel confident. It makes me feel empowered. It makes me feel courageous. It makes me feel bold. I love.
And you rock it so well, Jay, as well, though. Like,
I don't even have to put anything else on. Just
that's exactly the point. That's exactly the point I'm making. You know, you could just have one thing and makes you feel amazing.
That's all she's got on. Listen, that's all Jay rocks with most of the time. It's just their red lipstick. That's it. She's done. She's good to go. You don't need to worry about nothing else.
Exactly. Just as long as I've got my red lipstick, I've got one in my bag, one in the car, one in the house.
Trust me, it has to be the red. It's like, I don't know what it is. It's like you can wake up in the morning and just feel drained. Do you know what I mean? But when that red comes out, you know, like, yeah, girl.
It takes a lot for me to put a red lip on, man. It takes a lot for me to put a red lip on. I like it, but I'm not comfortable in it as like you and Jay are. It's not. I wouldn't wear it daily.
I challenge you. Next makeup selfie, we want to see the red lips. Like,
you can see it the once, but I ain't wearing that daily. There's no way. It just wouldn't happen.
I haven't even got any red lips.
What's that?
I haven't even got any red lipstick.
You gotta have at least one red lipstick.
You gotta have one red lipstick.
You gotta have at least one.
Even if it's a different shade of red, you gotta have one kind of
empower you. We're gonna hold her down, girls.
Yeah.
Put red lipstick on her.
Why is that, Karen? You just think it doesn't suit you?
Yeah, I think it's just too bold. I'd feel like I was.
You not feel confident wearing it?
I just don't think it's just my colour. I just really don't think it is. I think if I was to wear red,
the right shade.
I know my shades. I like it's not red.
Is it that you know your shades, or you're comfortable with certain shades,
or has someone told you your colours?
You've been called out. Called out.
Loads of different reds.
I'm comfortable with being uncomfortable and trying to say something new.
Kim, you look amazing with red lipstick. You absolutely look amazing. I just don't feel comfortable in red lipstick. I've got darker lipsticks. I wear darker lipsticks, but it's just the red is just not me. Never has been. Never been a red person.
Yeah. How are you? Jamella, just bring your whole range. You're the one with every single colour red.
I'll even bring the lip stains. I'll even bring the old lip stains.
Yeah, bring it all.
Oh my God. Am I going to just lie down on one of the tables?
Yeah, with my lip stain. It's not going to budge.
No.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, go on.
Yes, Marva.
It's mainly to you, SJ.
Oh God, here we go.
Now, everybody knows SJ. She's a mother. She's a housekeeper. She watches over her mother. She takes the kids to school. She even picks them up as well. And in between all of that, she's talking to us on WhatsApp or on the phone. Between all of that, she's on Messenger. And guess what? Between all of that, she's selling like a diva. Yeah? She comes back home. She's already prepped the food, half cooked it, come back home, cooked it. There you go.
Superwoman, mate.
Right? Then she's selling again like a beast. Yeah? Okay. Then don't forget now, she does classes, I don't know if it's once a week or twice a week. And she has all these different dance moves. Now, Sylvia, where do you find your dance moves from to put it in your busy day of what you do and still go and practice the girls to get the tune and they've got it at the end of the day? Then you come back and then you're on your phone in your car doing your business. Tell me how you do that, girl.
Come on, practice.
She's recording us all the time. That's what it is.
Laura's out of the class.
I was in her bedroom chatting a load of shit and she's recording me on bloody stories.
Say hi, Laura.
Right, honestly.
Oh God, I don't know. I mean, there used to be a time back in the day that I would have a day that I would dedicate to learning when I was teaching Zumba, because with Zumba, if any of you have ever done it, so generally in an hour's Zumba class, there would be at least 13 different routines that you would do. So I'd usually spend a day or half a day to learn those. But now, as I've got busier and things are a bit crazy, I'm going to be, are there any of my students in here? Let me just double check. They're not in the comments. I know Laura's here, but you know, now it's a matter of, it might be half an hour before the class, before I need to leave, if I'm honest with you. Literally, you know, Laura, I'll be messages out. I'm in my kitchen right now trying to remember the steps, trying to do the steps or whatever. And it's literally stolen moments. Some of the routines that you would have seen me do recently are old ones that I've done. I've learned from, like the salsa one we're doing at the moment. That's a friend of mine called Regina, who is a salsa teacher. She's amazing. She doesn't teach anymore at the moment, but she's amazing. And that's one that she taught me. So there are routines that I've learned through other teachers that have inspired me, and I take them and I make them my own, and then I reteach them to whoever I'm teaching. But I always give credit to the person who, if it's someone else's choreography, I'll always say it's so-and-so's, blah, blah, blah. So Regina did this one, but she did it to salsa music. So all I've taken it and I've put it to R&B music, and it just gives it a different feel. But when I want to learn something new, that's why I go to dance classes. I try to go to dance classes myself as a student to learn new steps, new flavors, so that I can then bring that back, put something together to then go and teach the people that I'm teaching. So when, again, with lockdown, I wasn't able to do that. I haven't been able to do that. So you get stale, because I don't believe that I am one of those people. You've got people that can come up with dance choreography just like that, like just out of the water, will think of something on the spot, hear a beat and think of something on the spot. I'm not that person. I need to, I don't know if that comes back to dyslexia. I'm not really sure. The way I compute it in my brain, I can't do it like that. Do you understand what I mean? Right? So I need time to piece it together. And that might take me a couple of days. It might take me a week, depending on what I'm doing. Where someone else can literally, like I said, turn on a sound and be like, okay, I'm going to do this, 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 and this. And we'll have something. And I'll be like, how did you even do that? Right? So I tend to right, with running everything now at the moment, it's literally, I give myself half an hour usually before I need to leave to put something together. And this is the beauty of it. I will go to class, and Laura can tell you, and I will mess up all the time. I will mess up all the time. And I don't worry. Before, years ago, I'd worry about that. I'm the teacher. I've got to get it right. I must know the steps. I must know this. I must know that. Now it's different. I don't worry about that. It's actually more fun when one of them say, Esther, I think you missed a step, because they remember it and I've gone blank. And I'll be like, oh, yeah. Well, do you want to come up and teach this bit then? Like, we have a joke, we have a joke. But for me, I feel like it shows the people teaching that I'm just like you guys.
Yes.
I just know how to teach it to you, but I'm no different. I forget steps. I get things wrong. I get things muddled up. And that releases the pressure. I mean, Laura, you can tell me the other side of it, that I don't have to be perfect. I don't have to come in there and think I've got to get every step right and I've got to be going the right way, or I've got to be doing exactly the same as the way the teacher's doing it. They can come in. My classes are literally, you come in, you do your thing, you have a giggle. There is no pressure to get it right. I don't care if you just get one step. I don't care if you get no steps. It doesn't, as long as you're smiling and having a giggle, I don't care what you do in that time. There's no pressure. And that's why I prefer classes where I have mirrors. It's not because if you actually watch me, I'm never looking at myself in the mirror, ever. I'm always looking at everybody else in the mirror. I'm never looking at myself. I never look up at myself. I prefer to have mirrors, one, so I can see them, but two, I can be in with them as opposed to me facing them. When I face, I feel like I'm performing. And it takes the joy out for me. I'm performing. I'm not teaching. Lots of people teach that way, but for me, it's like I feel like I'm showing off. I'm just performing. If I'm in with you, it's like being at a party and you're all jamming together and you're having a giggle. Like last night when, Michelle came to the front with me and we were holding hands for a second and we were like, yeah, like that's
like immersed, aren't you, in with us?
Yeah, that's what it is for me.
So who where did your inspiration come from with regards to dancing and wanting to inspire other people to get up and express themselves in that way? Where oh
my God, that's deep.
You know me, I'm a deep person.
I think I've always loved it as a child. Always loved it. And I used to go to, I think it was called Disco Club.
Yes.
I know, it was a dance school. I used to do that on a Saturday morning till I got myself into trouble. And back in the day when your parents said you weren't going again, they meant you ain't going again. And that was the end of that. Killed my dance career from a young age. That was it. You ain't ever going back. And I never went back. Not like today, you ain't going again. And next week come round, you're like, all right, then let's go. Like, no, you ain't going. That's it. You lost your chance. So I used to do that. So I always had a passion for dance. I always loved music. There was always music in the house. But I think I never got into actually doing dance until I had Reese, my eldest. So he's 15, so 15 years. Well, Reese, yeah. Because I wanted to be a stay-at-home. I wanted to stay at home with him when he was born. I was meant to go back to work when he was 3 months old. And I was just like, I just cannot do that. I just can't leave him. Like, he's too young. And some of you might have heard this story before, but somebody sent me a link on Facebook. I was really new to Facebook, and it was a link to a Zumba class. And I remember seeing this girl dancing, and I was like, oh my God, like, something just lit up in me, because I used to go salsa clubbing a lot and salsa weekenders a lot, and it was the Latin vibe, and I was like, oh, I love that, I need to go. And I went, and when I went, I don't know what it was, just something. I clearly needed it for myself at the time, but I didn't know that at the time. that became my escape from what was going on in my world at that time. But at that time, I didn't know that was for. It was like, oh, it's just, you know, I could do this, I could learn to teach it, and then I could stay at home with, you know, Reese during the day, and then I can go out and teach in the evening. When his dad comes back, I can go and do an hour's class and then come back. It was kind of that thought process. But I think if I look back at it now, I'd probably say that I needed it in my life because of what I was going through within myself. That was my release. That was my time. And when I went out to teach, seeing that I was giving that to other people, you can, you know, women, you can tell when someone's going through something, even if they're not saying anything. You can kind of tell, and you can see through dance. You can physically see somebody light up in front of you when they get a step, or they're just having fun. They're like all over the place, but they're having the most fun. You can see it. You can see it. You can see, like, Amy's a prime example. When Amy gets the step right, or it's the music, it's one of her favorite songs. You literally, she glows, like she literally lights up, doesn't she, Laura? Like, you know, she's enjoying it. And I got addicted to that because that's how it made me feel. And I really wanted to be able to give that to others. So I just got deeper and deeper into it. And then as I've grown, I've evolved from Zumba and now just teach dance. I don't teach Zumba anymore, people, okay?
You should. On the topic of International Women's Day, who is your biggest inspiration and why?
Oh my God.
Wow.
And that's to everybody, so everybody can answer that question. So we'll start with SJ and move along the panel.
Oh, I don't even know. There's too many women. There's too many women. There's too many women for lots of different reasons.
Wow.
Yeah, I couldn't pick
like
one.
My mum's one. My nan, who isn't here anymore, is another one. In terms of family wise, my friend.
Who's yours?
Sorry.
Well, SJ is thinking about it. Who's yours, Kim?
My biggest inspiration. Do you know what? It is a little bit of a tough one because it, you know, I mean, growing up, it was probably my nan. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, like I learned a lot from my nan, like watching her, like my aunties and uncles, like they weren't the easiest. I used to watch my nan like make 5 different meals to put on the table because they were fussy eaters. You know,
not in my house.
You know I mean, like I was like, you're getting what you're getting. If you don't eat it, you're eating it for breakfast, period. Do you know what I mean? Like my biggest inspiration, well, I always looked up to Lady Diana. I'll be honest with you. Reason being is because everything she did, she did from her heart. Do you know what I mean? Like she didn't do it from the head, like she did it from the heart. I was actually really upset when she died. I cried. No, there was something just about her, the way that she did things. You know what I mean? My biggest inspiration is the people around me. Do you know what I mean? The people that I'm around with that kind of are on the same page as me, that lift me higher, to do better, to be better. Do you know what I mean? That, you know, encourage me. Yeah.
So I mean, there's too many women for different pockets, for different things, you know. It's like I don't think I could ever pick one because there's too many for different reasons. You know, so I don't think I could ever pick one. Celebrity wise, I don't really follow celebrities, if I'm honest with you. I really don't. I could just not, it's just not my thing. But if I had to, it would be someone like Angela Bassett. She was probably one of the very first Black women that I saw as beautiful in every way, like just one of the first that I was just like, oh my God, she not just beautiful but strong, not a, do you understand, like strong black woman that I was like, yeah, I want to be like her. I want to be like that woman. But there's several others that are, Viola Davis is another one. Powerful black woman, and has faced a lot of discrimination because of the way she looks, the color, the darkness of her skin, but she's, you know, she stands, she's so tall, and the way she holds herself, like she's just so like, it feels like she may not be like that, but it feels like she's so sure of herself, and so she knows her worth, and like she just breathes strength. When I look at that Viola, she just breathes strength and wisdom. But there's a good few like that now that I would say, to be honest. I couldn't just say one. What about you, Serge? You got anyone?
Myself.
Hey, Sergie, I was gonna say that. I was gonna say myself.
But you know what? It would have to be women in my life, such as my great grandmother, my grandmother, my mom. It'd have to be the women in my life. They've taught me a lot and made me the person I am today. My daughter, because she's challenging me. God,
she's gonna be somebody at one, I'm telling you.
But yeah, I'm like yourself, SJ, I don't really follow celebrities, but if I had to choose a celebrity person that gave some inspiration to myself, I'd go for Cicely Tyson.
Yeah. She's another one. That's what I'm saying. There's too many.
Yeah.
Many, ma'am.
It's like her parentage was from same island as me, and it's made me think if somebody from my little island somewhere down in the Caribbean can be so well-known, famous, poised, and all that, then yeah, I can do that as well.
Absolutely. And what I like about these characters is they breed
realness
and kindness, and like, do you understand? I mean, I'm not saying they were perfect, because I'm sure they've done things in their lifetime that wasn't perfect or whatever, but when you listen, you know, we get to, like, Cecile's obviously passed now, but you get to look back on old videos that she's done, or, you know, talks that she's been a part of, and you listen to their words of wisdom, and you're like, they're so, like, their life, they went through, and how they come through that, and they still came out smiling, with wisdom, with love, with kindness. They weren't bitter, they weren't greedy, they weren't, do you understand what I mean?
Yeah, but then say one, say two, is like they were more from an era or generation that we're close and more associated to. I can't say I relate to like the Kim Kardashians and
I don't get the Kardashian thing.
I don't think anybody else.
Part of that slug eyebrows and big lips, and they.
Yeah, I don't get it when people. I'm like, what? I just don't get it. I really
Whereas
don't.
Taniesha, Taniesha and Jamella, you girls got girls same age as my daughter. They probably can then, you ask them to ask for a black person, and they probably come up straight with her. And I'm like, what? There's absolutely nothing to her.
Yeah, there's nothing to her. I'm sorry, Kim. Sorry, all the Kim fans, but tell me.
No Kim fans in my house.
My daughter's into K-pop, so she's into the Korean boy pop band, and she's absolutely fascinated by it. I don't see the fascination myself, personally.
I do. I get it. Yeah.
She's actually learning Korean. She actually learning, and she can actually speak it as well. I'm not even joking.
Let me ask you a question about that. Does she like anime?
She loves it. She loves anime. She loves it.
Our kids will get a lot.
She's been watching Korean soap pop, like it's TV. Like that's her TV shows, and she watches
my
it
daughter's just the
without
same.
subtitles.
Yeah, she teaches herself Japanese. My daughter does.
Madness.
I'm not seeing it. I'm just like, what are you saying? So I'm talking to my friend, and I'm just like, okay.
Madness.
I know, but you know what? It's good. It's educational.
Oh yeah, there's learning of the language. That's the blessing out of that. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. My one's listening to drill music. I don't even know what are they actually saying.
Yeah,
I'm like, what is that? What is like makes no sense whatsoever. Just bare noise. Serious, just bare noise. But he goes from one station, 1 minute it's hardcore drill music, is that what drill music, whatever they call it, and then the next minute I'm hearing all this soft
old
R&B
school
and stuff, and I'm like, I know it's because he's got a girlfriend. I'm not stupid. Right? I know it's that. Start hearing all this soft, lovey-dovey music. I'm like, oh, okay. When did you know about Alia? When did you know about? Yeah, I'm not stupid. So he switches his back and forth, but it's crazy. It's just crazy. Carly saying the music nowadays is about killing, guns, suicide. Yeah, that's what I hear. It's shocking.
And if it's not about killing, gun, suicide, it's about showing your assets. And for me,
using
that
your
is,
assets.
and that is just, it's a no-no for me. I can't stand it. A big no-no.
Yeah.
In my ass.
Yeah. No, it's just not.
Shaking,
not healthy,
shaking
man.
your ass and all them things there. Yeah, we have a little play around and whatever, but nah, we don't.
I think these artists need to be very much aware of the psychological impact that they have on children in this society.
They don't care. They don't care. It's making them money. They don't care who buys it, who listens to it. They just don't care. And
it's designed to do that.
The harder core their music is where they've got the young people like that.
Yeah.
So, and it's all about money. Here we go again. It's all about money.
Yeah. Most definitely.
Listen, send them to Sunday school. That's what my mum used to do to me. Sunday.
Yeah, I used to go Sunday school.
My kids go Sunday school. They still go.
School.
They ain't got no choice but to go to Sunday school.
Mad, isn't it? Yeah.
You see my mum, right?
Yeah.
I just send Marva to go and sort them out anyway. So
isn't it? Exactly that.
So Tina in the comments said her strong woman has got to be Tina Turner. Amazing female. Yes, Tina.
Yeah. There's so many of them. I think, and
it's just hard when you're on the spot to try and like think.
There's so many of them, and there's a lot of them that don't even get the recognition that they deserve because everyone's focused on the Kardashians, or right now it's everyone's focused on Rihanna because Rihanna's pregnant. Like I saw something earlier on Instagram, she was wearing
her granny's how did I describe it the other day? Okay, anybody remember that you go to Mama's house and you have that net thing over to cover the food?
Doily.
Oh yeah,
that's what she was wearing.
That's what she was wearing.
Like a doily.
And a thong, like you can see
a piece of cloth.
I saw that.
I think
man, she not catch up calling her Bem Bem.
That was a face. That was a face mask.
It was a face mask, Marva. It was. But honestly, I was just like, why?
Why is she a role model?
We've all had kids here, right? We've all had kids here. Now, you know, when you go back and especially when it's your first child, you go back and look at the baby pictures when you first have your baby. What are you going to look back at yourself in that outfit and think, what? Like you're out in broad daylight, and then I'm like, am I being judgmental?
Hold on, let me get the neck curtain.
But it's not. I just don't see why you would want to walk out like that. Like I just don't see how that is.
She thinks us making a statement, right? And people are going to look at that and think, right, I'll wear that.
Kim, there was more fabric in your veil than in.
It's making
I think I saw it. Talk about a black puffer jacket.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I do. You see all these people. Oh my god, it's so amazing. Oh my god, I'm like, really?
But you look at the like, for example, the Brits that was like last month. You know, in music, well, the awards and all that, which is all screened on the TV. You look at any of the stuff from the Brits where people have reported. You know how you get these people report on what they wore, like red carpet wear.
Yeah.
You look at the outfits, they're absolutely hideous. Everyone's got their bits hanging out. They're wearing zippers and bras with a massive bit of chiffon over the top or whatever. It's just hideous. Who wants, like, exactly what we're talking about? Going back to the same thing.
Yes.
You know, why is that what all we see? Where's the people in the nice classic?
It goes back to.
Where's the girl in the tux in a nice fitted suit or
like,
whatever.
I
You know,
think it was
where is
Kim that
stuff?
said it earlier. It's those in power. This is my opinion, because I know people have different opinions, but it's those in power. That's what they like, and that's what they feed down, and that's what they put out there to make it and to normalize it.
Yeah.
So our kids are growing up thinking that's normal. No, that ain't normal. And you ain't leaving my house looking like that.
No.
No.
I'm all for confidence and obviously feeling good within your own skin, wearing what the hell.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what?
There's
Do
a
it within
difference.
reason, because I tell you something now, my daughter's 13, you know, and if she ever walked out the house wearing some fishnet or neck curtain thing, listen, I'd be up the street with my flip-flop, mate, and she would not know what hit her.
No, that's right. But just I just don't see. I don't get it. Like being pregnant in your first pregnancy. I mean, admittedly, some people just don't like being pregnant, but generally, like especially your first one, that's like a real blessing and a sacred thing. Why would you want to expose it like in that way?
Attention, isn't it? Attention.
Yeah, of course. And you know, it is, and it's money, because you know she'll get paid for those pictures, won't she? You know.
But what I mean, I know, like this is supposed to be about empowering women and, you know, women liberation and all that. But what gets me is when you look at like if you say like the MOBOs or the award ceremonies and stuff, you look at the women, they got next to nothing on, but then the men got so much clothes on. So why are the men coming out with all these clothes on?
Yes.
But the women are not?
Because sex sells.
Yeah, you're right. You're
exactly right. That sex sells.
True.
I just think they need to fix up themselves and put on more clothes. As I kept to call it, where was it, Jamella? In the bem bem?
In the bem bem.
But you know what I think? I think these I don't like the word celebrities. I just like celebrities to me are like members of parliament. They're just another set of people in power with less clothes. Right?
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, the influence that they have over the children, especially, this is how children are easily targeted, groomed, and have psychological damage as they're growing up through adolescence in this world that we are in today. And these people don't actually see it until they themselves have children. Their children get to a particular age group where they're susceptible to the same as the average parent and children like us. And then they start reevaluating the power that they have. But by then it's too late. And I think the influence and the power that they are a huge part into how society is deemed on our children nowadays, on how they look.
Yeah, I agree.
The gender that they choose. I mean, because like 30, 40 years ago, you would never hear of a child struggling with their gender. I'm sorry, no disrespect to anyone.
No, I'm with you on that.
Never.
I'm with you on that.
It was never even a conversation that was up for discussion. And again, like I said, I will always reiterate it. If you want to choose that you're not sure on where you stand with gender, and that's fine. I respect your personal human rights. But this is the influence being trickled down the chain of command, if you like. And I don't think people realize that, you know what, you're actually a detrimental impact to these children on how they grow up, on how they're going to parent, whether they're going to be boys or girls, on how they're going to fit into society just by way of getting their jobs, their mentalities. These are the differences between how they treat people as fellow human beings. Do you know what I mean? And I think these celebrities, so to speak, need to kind of get a bit more of a grip, because on celebrations like it with International Women's Day, they're very quick to be at the top because they want their name mixed amongst all the celebrations, but they're not acting in accordance.
No,
because they don't have to, because they're privileged.
Very much
so. They don't have to. They're privileged. They've got the money. They've got the power, so they don't have to behave in a certain manner. And their child, if they have children, aren't exposed to certain situations because they are privileged enough to make sure that their child won't be in those certain situations, whereas we we're normal everyday people. We don't have those privileges.
That education piece at home, right?
It has to be, because they are in a prime position.
And education at age appropriate.
That's right. You know, a lot of these up and coming singers, rappers, whatever their genre is, could have a huge impact on the younger generation in a positive way, but they choose not to, because they get more money if they do it for the other way. And they themselves, some of them kids that are in the public eye, they're still kids themselves, and they're just caught up in the hype. They don't even realize until something goes wrong, and then they're like, oh damn, I should have, right? You know,
choices. Everyone's got choices.
That's what I'm saying. Everyone does have choices, but I think some people have to stop being sheep, man. In my opinion,
like there's a massive
stop being sheep and use your own brain and common sense. Like, you see a 3-year-old on Instagram that's dancing inappropriately in an outfit they shouldn't be wearing with false lashes on. Why are you liking and commenting on that post if you don't agree with it? Don't like and comment on the post. But people don't. They follow like sheep. They read, I'll put a little comment. Oh, that's cute. But you're fueling it.
Enticing it,
You may as well say that you're helping to groom the children and preparing them for what society deems normalization, because people at the top are able to do that and filter it down. You're kind of meeting them halfway. This is why it's really important for education and open-mindedness to begin in the home. And then as the children are going into, like, for me, children should be educated from the minute they can talk and start to understand certain things. Between when a child's born and when they're about 5 years of age, their brain is like a sponge. And I believe that we have that window of opportunity to actually instill these foundations in our children, so that as they start to leave the house and start to mingle with other children in society, as they start to mingle with adults, maybe that then be in a better position for when things go wrong, so that they're not susceptible to certain types of grooming when they're outside of the home. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, but on the flip side, because they're not used to that kind of thing, they might see it as exciting. They might want to feel like if they don't follow that, they might not fit in. It's finding that balance, and no matter how much you prepare that child, what happens outside the house when they go to school or whatever, and when they mix with their friends and stuff, no matter how much you prepare that child, you can't control.
Be there 24/7.
No, you can't.
So true.
I agree with you wholeheartedly, but
so true.
Giving them some foundation is better than no foundation.
Yeah, you can give them the foundation.
But it's up to them to make the choice.
To the cows come home. But when they go out there and they see their friends doing it,
that's where I think
peer pressure,
self-confidence comes in, because if that child as an individual is confident enough in themselves and knows their own worth and value, they'll make the right decision. You understand? But the problem is, I feel, especially with the girls, as it's Women's International Day, especially with us girls, and we've all done it, I'm sure, is that we haven't seen our worth and we aren't confident. So we've made decisions to just fit in or not to fit in. You don't want to be seen, whatever it is. So I think the best thing it can come down to with parenting, I'm no expert, is building on that child's self-confidence within themselves, because then they'll make those right decisions. Because like you said, you could be the best parent in the world and show them all the dangers and all of this, and they still go out there and do it. Why is that? It all comes down to because I know there's a friend of mine, Frida, her kids are like, they're the golden children. I call them the golden children. They are impeccable in every way. I believe it's not because of education or anything like that. It's the way they've been parented by Frida. She's a single parent. Like, she treats them with so much respect, the way she talks to them, the way she handles them. Don't get me wrong, they know the line, mum is mum, mum isn't my friend, but they always make the right decision because they have so much self-confidence in themselves, and they don't need devices. They don't need all of these things because they are happy with, like, one of them she's the female, loves Lego. She loves building Lego. It's her thing. She builds villages and everything, right? She's really, really good. No worries, hun. Jamella, I'm off now. No worries, babe, Jamella, that's fine. She builds proper villages. It's not like, you know, but because she's been allowed to express herself that way and not told, or it's childish, or it's for boys, or she's so confident in herself. So if her friend says to her something like, oh, let's go and do something, she knows that isn't right, she's not going to do that. Do you understand what I mean? Because she's got that confidence within herself. It's those kids with insecurities, for whatever the reason, that end up going and doing things that you should. Same as adults. They want
to fit in.
You've got to start setting boundaries from a young age. Do you know what I mean? Once those boundaries are in place, do you know what I mean? You know, like what oh god, my brain's gone blank. Like what Sergie said, do you know what I mean? You know, we can lay the foundations, we can try and teach them the right way, we can build up their confidence, we can give them that self-esteem, you know, but when they do go out into society, do you know what I mean? We have got no control over that, you know, we have got no eyes in the you know, we can't stop it, because at the end of the day, you know, they could be learning something from school, they could be learning it with crowds that they're hanging around in, you know, it could be like the newest trend that they feel like they want to follow, do you know what I mean? And the minute that we tell them that no, it's not okay, that's when you find a challenging teenager, because they rebel.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
You know what I mean? So as much as we try to stop them and say, no, it's not okay, do you know what I mean? Don't do this and don't do that. I guarantee you, because my daughter's done it, I say, no, you are not going out of the house with your skirt that short. You make sure you roll that bloody skirt down so it's touched above your knee. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I've caught her up the road when I've gone out after I've done the school job, and her skirt's up here pulled up.
That's what we did.
And I'm like,
that's what we all did. Yeah, we all did it.
What are you doing?
But then you've got those kids that are so self-confident in themselves that will say, I don't want to do that, and won't do it because they are confident in themselves. I love me for the way I am. I don't need to have the tiny mini skirt. Or
I think the self-worth bit is the biggest thing.
It's the biggest thing.
All those things we've talked about today.
Male or female.
Yeah, because that's the biggest bones of everything, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, if you feel confident in who you are, your own beauty, your own worth, all of that, you're going to make those decisions based on that, and that's the truest thing you can do to walk that path.
Yeah, that's just like what Tina said in the comments. Our kids teach our kids to be different, and it's okay.
You just that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
I mean, it's a catch-22 situation, isn't it? Because, you know, we talk about empowering, uplifting, validating. We also talk about, you know, embracing body confidence, you know, and all of these sort of things, you know, but we still find ourselves back in that box. Do you know what I mean?
Conditioned.
Back in that box, no matter how much we try to promote it, no matter how much we try to put it out there. Like, most importantly for me with having a daughter, you know, is making, you know, I never want her to doubt her own worth. I never want her to doubt herself. I never want her to feel like she's unpretty or unloved or she's not good enough. Do you know what I mean? So I will always compliment her. I will always say, you are beautiful, you are enough, you are good enough, you're smart, you're intelligent, you're funny, I will say all of these things. But the minute she's out that door and she's with her friends, what she seems to forget is that I see her snaps. It's a different kettle of fish. Do you know what I mean? A different kettle of fish. The TikTok videos, I mean, I saw one of her TikTok videos once, and I think it was this new dance trend that came out where it looked like you was kind of really going down, and like your private bits were like on the floor, and I was like, no, sorry, I can't do that. You need to get it off. Like, that is not how I've brought you up. That is not what I have taught you. That is not who you are. You know, like, honestly, conduct yourself in a respectable and a better manner, because you know what, Like, who the hell is watching you? What you know, I don't want grown-ass men thinking that, you know, they're going to see her or recognise her in the street and think that that's the sort of type of girl.
That's what happens.
Yeah.
And then
that is what happens.
Yeah, and then like tries to be like, but you know what I mean, and then gets a little bit touchy-feely and it gets a little bit too much and then she can't handle herself. Do you know what I mean? Because that's the reality of it. This is what happens. And if we don't try and, obviously, I think as parents, I think that we do hold a lot of responsibility for it, you know, because we go back to what Sil said, you know, we're giving them these devices, we're giving them that, because it's following trend. Their friends has got one, so they've got to have one. The latest trainers, your friend goes to school, they've got the latest pair of trainers. You know, it's constantly keeping up with the trend all the time, this, that, and the other. And because if they haven't got it, they either get picked on for not having it, or if they do have it, they get bullied and they get robbed. You can't win.
Yeah, it's hard. It is hard. It's not easy.
You can't win no matter what you do, whatever avenue, whatever angle you are going from. You know, society is what it is. You know, and this is why, if we take it back to women and girls, and I mean, like, yeah, okay, I'm not forgetting the boys here, but this is International Women's Day, so it is about the women today. You know, but it's really, really important to say no. Like, no, it's not happening. It's not okay. I am doing me. Do you know what I mean? You know,
they need to, the young girls need to see that from the adults that they are in contact with, whether that be the parent or they've been taken care of by their grandma or whoever it is. They need to see it in the adult. They don't need to hear it, they need to see it, because it's no good an adult, whether it be mum, grandma, saying to that child, you're beautiful, you're this, and then you look around the corner and that same mum is sat on the bed having a breakdown, or saying to herself, I'm ugly, or I'm not good at this, or because that's what the child takes on. They don't take on that 5 minutes before you've just said that you're beautiful, you can do anything you want. They take on what they see you doing.
Yeah.
So we need to get better. Us adults that are around young people need to be mindful of what we are showing them, not what we're telling them. What we're showing them, because that's what they follow. Do you see what I mean? My kids aren't designer kids. They don't ask for designer clothes. They're not big on fashion, because I'm not big on fashion. They don't see me coming in here with the latest trainers or the latest jacket or the latest this, or I've got to have that, or I've got to have that, because that's not me. That's not who I am. So they aren't like that. That they got friends that are like that because their parents are like that. Their parents like the finer things. Not knocking the parents. That's what they like, and that's their lifestyle. But that breeds into their children. I don't ever have to worry about, oh my God, this is going to want the latest trainers or the latest because it's not a thing for him, because it's not a thing for me.
Thankfully, I don't have to worry about that either.
Right.
I think that all starts from when they're born, though, isn't it? Because when they're born, you'll think, right, they're getting this designer tracksuit. Oh my God, these little trainers.
Yeah, all of that. Yeah, like you see little kids,
when you're a
£500 outfit.
When you're a broke-ass mum like me, who literally has to get up every single day and slay, do you know what I mean? You know, and do what we do, because that's what we do. We network, we're connecting with people, we're doing this, we're doing that. Do you know what I mean? We are selling ourselves literally over platforms to try and give our kids the lives that they truly deserve. And let me tell you something, it is hard. It is hard being a woman. It is hard waking up every single goddamn day. Do you know what I mean? Days where you feel like you can't even drag your ass out of bed to do what you've got to do, but you do it anyway, because you think, you know what, if today I don't do it, today I could be missing out. Today, that could be the day that I literally hit the jackpot. Today could be the day that I earn that little bit of money from selling that box of collagen, or that mascara, or this, or that. Do you know what I mean? Or whatever it is that you do as women. Do you know what I mean? Because I know that every little bit of money that I earn goes towards my kids, whether that be for paying for their packed lunches, whether that be paying for my gas bill, whether that be for electricity, whether it be for, you know, that music lesson or the dance lesson that they wanted at school. Do you know what I mean? You know, the thing is us women are not seen. Do you know what I mean? We're not seen, we're not heard for all the things that we do. And we are just out here. Do you know what I mean? We are grinding, we are slaying.
Yeah,
it is real.
but sometimes, That is our own fault. We're not, if you're not opening your mouth, if you're sat in your corner, and now listen, I'm not knocking anyone because I've done it myself. If you're sat in your corner and you're not opening your mouth, then no one's going to hear or see you. So a lot of the times when we're not being seen or heard is because we have chosen not right. So
I think
it does take for us to stand up, and that's why I always say to you guys, stand up and be seen, stand up and shine, like whatever it is for you, whatever that is for you.
Sorry, I think we need to wrap up because a few ladies' batteries are dying and got to go.
Yeah, we're going to go now.
I'd like to suggest that Mother's Day is coming up soon, and I think we can come back and pick back up where we left off because we was veering off to kids and stuff. Probably do something like this around Mother's Day. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I'm happy to do another work. When's Mother's Day?
27th of March.
Yeah.
We don't have to do it on Mother's Day. We can do it.
I don't care. I don't do nothing for Mother's Day. I'm not at that stage yet where my kids are buying me stuff for Mother's Day. Like it comes and goes. So don't mean nothing to me. I'm here. Like Reese earlier, just real quick before we go. Like he's one of his friends, his birthday's coming up, and he's like, and I need to get this money and I need to do this because we're going to all go out to dinner. And so when's her birthday? The 19th of March. Yes, I need to get a present. And I'm like, Like my birthday's the 15th of March, But you're worried about your friend, yeah? That's the way it is. So I'm like, whatever. Do you know what I mean? Whatever. The day I get a gift or something from my kids where I haven't had to say nothing, listen, the whole world's going to know about it. The whole world know about it. Well, listen, ladies. It's been a real pleasure. Thanks for everybody that came on, and thanks to everybody that I actually forgot about the people that are watching live. Thanks to everybody that was watching us live and commenting as well and having some input.
Thank you, Kim, for sharing such a powerful story.
Yeah. As well. Thanks for that as well, Kim, and Laura speaking and everything as well. We definitely will do it again. It's been really good today, like earlier session, this session, and it's just nice to hear a little bit more about people that we may not have already known as well, learning something about each other and just being able to openly talk about whatever. I can't remember who said it. I think it was Carly that said we should do it on a regular basis. I'm more than happy to do that, guys, but I can't do it on my own. Well, I can do it on my own, but I'm not doing it on my own. So if you want to do a regular group round table loose lips talk, we can do it. I'm absolutely up for that. And anybody that's watching that would like to actually come on and join us, you can. You just need to jump on Zoom. That's it, and you can come and join us. So we'll talk about it. But thank you, ladies. I hope you've all had a great day today, Women's International Day.
Just
hope
keep,
you learned everything.
Just keep moving forwards. Just do your thing.
Oh, hold on, one comment. Let's not forget we are living in paradise. Let's just take a moment to appreciate where we have come as women. This is morally. We can vote, we can get a degree, we can have equal pay, etc., etc. So women or ancestors would have our ancestors would have loved to see this day. Amen, Morally. She's a beautiful soul, really beautiful soul. Amen. Actually, before we go, shall we have a little blessing from Marva?
Yes. My battery.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Have you got enough? Have you got enough, Marva?
Actually gonna go like.
Oh.
Come on, just quick. Just quick. Just.
Almighty God and everlasting Father, as we gathered here before thy presence, we thank you. We thank you, Lord, for bringing us all together as one. Lord, it is International Women's Day. Lord, you made man in your own image, but you created woman. Lord, and I thank you for that privilege that you have given unto us all, that we can stand firm on thy belief, that we can stand firm on thy rock, because without thee, we are nothing. Without thee, we're just an empty shell. But I thank you, Lord, for tonight's little gathering. Lord, it was very, very great. And to have you in our midst, Lord, is even more of a blessing. So Lord, take us all, be with us all, lead and direct us all in Jesus' mighty name. Amen.
Amen. Amen. And on that note, ladies, I bid you all and everybody online good night. Oh, hold on. You guys are going to want a picture. You're going to want a picture, aren't you? I don't want to be called out for having favourites because we did it on the last one. Okay, right. Are you ready? Are you ready? Okay, hold on. Let me clean my screen quickly before Marva dies and disappears. Okay. All right. Everyone's like, what are they doing? Yeah, we're taking selfies, yeah? Excellent. Okay. I bid you all good night. It's been amazing. Love you lot.
Farewell.
Night, baby. Night, guys.
Good night.
Bye.